It's running.
From Montgomery, make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to believe in this living's just a hard way to go. When I was a young girl, I had me a cowboy. He weren't much to look at, just a free rambling guy. But that was a long time, and no matter how I tried, the years just would flow by like a broken down dam. Make me an angel, flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing I can hold on to believe in this living's just a hard way to go. Flies in the kitchen, I can hear them a-buzzing. I ain't done nothing since I woke up today.
How the hell can a person go to work in the morning and come home in the evening and have nothing to say?
Make me an angel, flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one that I can hold on to believe in this living's just a hard way to go. Make me an angel, flies from Montgomery. To believe in this living's just a hard way to go.
There you go, son. Not bad.
No, that was pretty good. So, hi, I'm Dan Murphy, and I am here with a few musicians to preview the upcoming Blues Radio concert. benefit. And why don't you guys introduce yourselves, and we'll talk about what this is all about.
I'm fishing out my lab mic. And I'll introduce myself. I'm Jamie Walker, friend of Dave and Laurie.
I'm Lori Elgus, Lori Young, whatever. I have 2 different names.
This is David Whedon speaking, and we're here to hopefully generate some interest around a fundraiser that we're running on March 4th in Dover Center at the American Legion. It's going to be at 7 p.m., and the money that we raise is going to be used to fight pancreatic cancer, which is a very serious disease, and it's something that has been in at least one family in our band, at least 2 actually, at least
Actually
three,
three,
Actually
unfortunately, yeah.
unfortunately, yeah. So that's what this is about, and to make it easier for people to participate in donating money for the cause, there are 2 bands that are going to be playing that night. Vice Grips, who's been doing the Blues Breaker for 15 years, I believe.
Holy cow.
I know, it's a long time. And then last year, we were joined by Group Therapy, which is another band that I play with Lori in. And so it's going to be a night full of music, and it's going to be great.
Okay, so why don't we talk about how this all came about? Like, what inspired you to get involved with this cause and put together a concert to support it?
Before the cause, there was the music, actually. And people don't believe it when I tell this story, but in this building where we're filming this, I went to school here many years ago, and Jamie and I actually saw Aerosmith play across the hall in the auditorium there. People can't believe that sometimes.
Before they had a record deal.
Before they had a record deal, that's right.
Even just before, actually, they had just hired Brad Woodford. He was doing one of his first shows here at this high school.
Yep.
Wow.
There was probably 50 people here, maybe,
Yeah.
and we helped them load in.
And we got a serious music bug.
Yeah, we recorded the set. We stuck a cassette underneath the stage, and we recorded their whole set, and then we learned all the old Yardbirds songs and John Mayall songs that they were covering. So that kind of
That's
influenced us. And they did the Dream On, I think, for the first, I think Tyler said it was one of the first times they'd ever played Dream On.
Yeah. I
And
remember that.
so that was kind of cool, having that.
We've been, and then, we've been playing, Vice Grips has been playing together for literally 40 years. I mean, it seems incredible, but it's true.
Yeah, I knew David when he was probably 7 years old,
Yeah.
6 years old.
Yeah,
literally.
we all grew
I
up on
was
the same street,
only
actually,
8 or
on
9.
Meadowbrook Road in Dover.
Yeah.
So then, about 5 years ago, I got a call from another friend, Doug Ambos, who is the drummer of Group Therapy, plays drums and guitar, actually. And he sent me an email saying, potential guitar opportunity, just in case things didn't work out. And so I sat in with Lori and Group Therapy. They were looking for a guitar player, and it's just been on since then. So the music has always been there, and Lori has been. Maybe you should explain a little bit about your musical background. You've been singing for
A long time. I started out back when I lived in New York City. I used to sing for the Knicks and Rangers for their national anthem. That was my 15 minutes. Everybody gets their 15 minutes of fame.
Wow.
So that was pretty fun. And then I played in clubs and bands in New York City and that type of thing. Paid my way through optometry school with my music, which was kind of a neat way to end up with almost no debt.
That's awesome.
Not like our kids today, huh?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but
Yeah,
so
so we've been playing for a long time, and we were always looking for a place to play and, something to do with our music. So along the way, I think it was Doug Ambos' brother initially died from pancreatic cancer about 20 years ago. And I didn't really know much about it. And then over the years, you sort of hear about it here and there. Then about 2 years ago, my sister-in-law was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and my wife and I were down in Connecticut at the Connecticut Hospice every weekend. She would be down there. She was down there half the time, and it became very clear within a few months that she wasn't going to make it. And so we just helped her through this process of dying. I guess I can't explain it any other way. And as we watched this happening before our eyes, towards the end there, I think we were both thinking, gee whiz, I wonder if there's anything that,
You want to do something.
we want to do something. And after, it's hard to think about that really while this is going on, but
Yeah.
after it ended, I guess the idea occurred to me to ask the American Legion if we could sort of transform the annual Winter Blues Breaker. And I couldn't believe how many people came last year. There were over 300 people that attended this thing. We had money coming in from all over the place, and it's funny because we would get, people basically buy tickets so that they can attend, and the money goes to the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network. But occasionally, and I was the de facto treasurer last year, but occasionally you'd see a check come in for $500 or for $300, and it would be someone that had this in their family. So it really was clear that we struck a chord with certain people. And initially last year we thought, let's just do it this one year and see what happens. It was a complete blowout. The whole town was there. People from all the surrounding towns were there. Everyone had a marvelous time. It was for a really good cause.
Marvelous.
And so marvelous, terrific.
Good word.
Marvelous. So
It was a rockin' time.
yeah, it was a great time, and it really, we had people there from the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network that were speaking and talking a little bit about it. So I think it was a success. So this year we've decided to just keep going, and where this goes, nobody knows. But we raised $10,000 last year, and we'd like to exceed that this year if we can.
Yeah, well, that's a very worthy cause. And that's
Yeah.
really exciting. I was at the concert last year, and I do think it was very well attended, and everyone did have a very good time. So I think the important question for anyone watching this is how do they get tickets? And even if they can't attend, how do they give money to this cause?
So at some point, and we talked about this, there will be a link on this video for people to tap into their browser, and it'll take you right to our site where you can donate money. And the way it works is for every $25 that we recommend as a donation qualifies you to come to the event on March 4th. We've had a lot of people donate more than that and not ask for as many tickets. They just want to give to the event. You don't have to go to the event to
donate.
participate, to
Yeah.
donate, and that's the way.
Don't forget the barbecue, the Tennessee barbecue.
So it's the
Which was
Blue
really-
Ribbon Barbecue,
Yeah.
who is actually
That was so good.
We
We ran out of food, though. I'm not
We
going to
ran out of. Well, we're going to get more food this year.
We're going to
Don't
have
worry
more
about
food
that.
this year if you didn't get food
Yeah,
last
if you
year.
didn't get enough food last year, we're going to have more. So, actually, the woman that I graduated high school with, who is the catering manager, Leslie Pfeiffer, I reconnected with her to order the food and figure all this stuff out. It's
We should mention, too, where the food comes from, the donation for that, too.
so very good point. Thank you. So the Needham Bank has, for 2 years in a row, sponsored the food, and I would say thank you very much to the Needham Bank.
Thank you,
guys-
Needham
Yeah,
Bank.
thank you.
Yeah, you
Bob
guys
Day.
were there for us last year in a big way. And by the way, the Needham Bank, I don't know if people know this, but when you do something like this and you fundraise, the people in the branch in Dover actually offer to help you. So they're probably going to be down there on Saturday afternoon, March 4th, helping me hang up tropical room rolls and this sort of thing. So they've been a really good partner with this whole.
We had nice little decorations. And
Yeah, we have
the
some
lit
footage
palm tree.
of some of the songs, which we
So you're gonna
might cut to
in a few minutes,
it's-
yeah.
Yes, shortly.
I'm an alligator. I'm a mama papa coming for you. I'm a space invader. I'll be a rock and rollin' bitch for you. I'll keep your mouth shut. I'm smoking like a mockingbird. I'm busting out your praise for the world. Keep your awaken, baby. Lay the real thing on me. The church of my love, such a holy place to be. I'll make it, baby. Make me know you really care. Make me nothing to the end. Keep your electric on, baby. Press your finger to my head. And make face close to mine. Now in the moon and sacred morning. Keep your electric on, baby. Let your freedom tonight. Let your face close to mine. Now in the moon and sacred morning. Keep your electric on, baby. Let your freedom tonight. Hey, your face close to mine. Now in the moon and sacred morning.
How large are both your bands? Because I know that group therapy is very large, and then
We're cross-pollinating
Yeah.
this time.
Yeah, we're cross-pollinating.
well, there was a little bit of that last
Yeah,
time,
there's a
too.
little bit of that time. We're just kind of capitalizing on it. We're having Laurie and her crew kind of raise the bar because the Vice Grips were old, kind of wizened rock and roll. I speak for myself. I'm a rock and roll veteran. I've been playing rock music for 40 years as a hobby more than a career. I had, a few years as a career, but.
You're being too.
He's being way too
You're-
modest.
yeah,
Jamie is unbelievable.
But the
Singer,
idea is
guitarist.
that we thought that it would be more fun if we get some cross-pollination between the two bands, and it really is a lot of fun. Laurie's a fantastic singer, and having so the Vice Grips is basically two pairs of brothers and me. So it's the two pairs of brothers that we grew up with since the age of 7 or 6 or whatever. And then group therapies, how many? The horn
Well, we
section?
should mention them. We've got George Moore is from
Bass.
Sherburne, yep,
Yeah.
on bass and vocals, and Stacy Brandon is on vocals. Bob Brunston plays drums on some songs, has an awesome voice. Doug Ambos, as you've mentioned, plays both. These guys go back and forth, so sometimes Doug's with you guys on guitar, and then he switches, and Bob, who plays, who's left-handed?
Doug.
So there's
Doug.
this switch of the two guys on the drums. They do it amazingly well. You'll not know it.
Yeah.
It happens. And of course, Kim Holland is in the band. And then we've got our horn section. We've got Brad Cole's an amazing sax player, is going to be joining us
yeah.
again. Jeff Peterson's going to be playing his trombone, and Bob Pereira is new for us.
Right.
He's going to be playing. Make sure I didn't miss out anybody.
I think you've got them all.
Is that what I
We have
missed?
Stan Shields doing sound again
Yep,
for us.
he did a
Oh,
wonderful
yeah.
job at that. And you should introduce your guys in your band. So that's group therapy, and most of them are local.
Yep.
And from Sherburne, you're from Dover, obviously. I'm from Natick, and but
Yeah, and group therapy can do pretty much anything. I mean,
Yeah.
group
Well, I
therapy
mean,
can
I
play-
think that's
yeah.
really my next question is what is the type of music for people who might be unfamiliar with you that you kind of play? I mean, I know that there's a lot of what's now termed classic rock, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that there is a variety that goes on there. If you
Yeah.
want to talk a little
Right.
bit about that.
Right.
So with group therapy, it's anything. We can play a wedding, we can play rock and roll, we can play Frank Sinatra jazz, we can play bossa nova,
country rock,
country rock,
funk.
funk, a
We
lot
do
of
some funk,
yeah,
yeah.
a lot of funk. We can play disco for dancing. I mean, we can do anything.
That's Doug's favorite.
Yeah, that's Doug's not.
That's a joke, yes.
And then Vice Grips is
Rock and blues.
rock and blues.
Well,
I mean,
introduce your guys.
so there's myself on guitar. There's Jamie on guitar.
Well,
James-
do it brothers. His brother is Rick Whedon.
Yep.
Dave Whedon, Rick Whedon. Rick is an amazing drummer. Dave is an amazing guitar player, and he sings a couple things too. He's got a real character voice.
So-
We exploit
Thank you.
to its fullest. Then the other two brothers.
The other two brothers, Bill Green, who's actually director of photography for the Boston Globe. So he has himself a very distinguished career in the media, and he's a super bass player, rock solid with the instrument. And Bruce Green is he was the genius behind the band when we were kids.
Yes.
Wonderful keyboard player. He's now an artist, and he does a lot of work in the community and outreach types of social work type stuff.
Great singer too. And yeah, back in the day, Bruce was a very prolific songwriter, very amazing keyboard player, and a lot of what Vice Grips was back when we were kids, in our teen years as we grew up, was an original act that played a lot of Bruce's tunes and the tunes that I wrote as well. But these days we're playing cover music for the most part because no one really wants to
That's what they want to
listen.
hear. Yeah,
Yeah.
they want to hear the stuff
So,
they don't hear.
so the style that we do though is more rock, classic rock type of stuff. Deep Purple, Steppenwolf, some Bowie, some
John Mayall's. in
John
there.
Mayall, some
of,
Blues
Allman
Breakers,
Brothers, that kind of stuff.
Clapton, Allman Brothers, yeah. Mostly 70s-ish, late 60s, 70s-ish, Not too much 80s music will be heard from us. Group therapy will
Yeah, we
cover
sneak in
that.
a few.
Well, I was going to say that's what makes it such a fun night, because there's literally every
Everything.
genre of music that you can imagine that night.
Right.
Because we start out with more acoustic 4-part harmonies.
Right.
You know, the full band, but a lot of acoustic guitar, really tight harmony. Well, hopefully they're tight. And then these guys come on. This one can sing anything, and they're such vice grips. I mean, you guys are tight. There's clearly you guys have played together for a long
Only
time.
45 years of.
When you play the same stuff
Yeah.
for 44 years, you get it right.
No, even though there was a long hiatus, we had the last 15 years of Blues Breakers to really
Yeah.
kind of hone the reunion thing.
So anyway, we would love to get the community back out.
Absolutely.
Please
Yeah.
come join
Come
us.
on
It's a
down.
really
It
good
is
event.
fun.
It's 7 o'clock on March 4th.
Yeah, and how late does it usually go?
It goes to midnight,
Yeah.
basically.
And it's like wall-to-wall music the entire
It's
time.
Yeah, it
wall-to-wall
is.
music. There's a break in between the two bands, so you can talk to each other. And there's it's upstairs and downstairs in the Legion, so the food is downstairs. A lot of people go down there to chit-chat and catch up. We have a lot of people from Dover, Sherburne, who go almost like a mini reunion
Yep.
in some ways. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, I think this is great. We have some music to play from a past event that I'll be cutting away to. But thanks so much for coming in. I think this has given people a taste. And once again, it's March 4th at the Legion
March 4th
at 7 p.m.
Right.
And we have information that should be at the bottom of the screen in terms of how you can get tickets and donate to this really great cause.
Great.
So thanks
We
so much.
should, yeah, and there'll be tickets they can buy at the door. If
Buy
you know,
tickets
some
at the
people
door.
don't like to do it online. You can come and buy them at the door.
A very good point to
Okay.
make. So thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
All right. All right.
I got you.
Thank you for having us.